today is a little bit different. We are going to start standing up. So go ahead, find your way to your yoga mat. And if you have a wall handy, you might want to stand next to a wall. You might even kind of lean, like kind of stand close to the wall, but just maybe a step or a half a step away from the wall so you can kind of just lean back comfortably on the wall. Just maybe your shoulders touching, maybe your seat kind of touching the wall, just kind of finding a somewhat supported position. If you don't have a wall handy, that's okay. You could lean against something else that you do have close by, or just kind of stand in the middle of your space. So if you are leaning up against a wall, just continue to adjust until you feel just a little supported, so you don't have to worry too much about keeping your balance or anything. You might let your hands kind of reach out to the sides here, maybe the palms facing the front of your space. You could close your eyes or continue to keep your eyes open at any time throughout our practice. It might feel more intuitive to place your hands somewhere on your body, maybe one on your belly, one somewhere near your heart center. Maybe there's another arm position. Maybe you just let your hands dangle by your sides without spinning them open. So just take a few experiments and see if you can find a somewhat comfortable standing position. And if you are touching the wall, noticing the pressure between your body and the wall. Noticing your feet connecting to the floor. You might kind of move your feet just a little bit and see if you can get an equal amount of pressure throughout both of your feet and all edges of both of your feet. Sometimes for me that means just kind of moving my feet a little bit until I can kind of settle in. You might kind of spread your toes out and set them back down, making sure your foundation is comfortable and strong. And go ahead and scan through your body, just looking for any sensations. Any sensations or emotions that are present. Scanning through your body in no particular order. Noticing anything there is to notice. If you find any comforts or discomforts, adjusting accordingly. And then begin to notice your breath. Just watching as your body is just naturally breathing. No need to adjust anything just yet with the breath. Just watch the inhales roll in, and the exhales roll out. If it helps your awareness, you might bring your hands or one hand to your belly or your rib cage or wherever you feel respiration happening the most. And just continue inhaling and exhaling. And to some people, it may seem like there's not a lot going on here, but let's get a little more curious. Feeling your belly or your lungs kind of expanding into your hands. Feeling the warmth of your skin, the texture of your clothing. Exhaling when it becomes time. See if you can become even more interested and curious about these next few breaths. Taking a few rounds of belly breathing if you're not quite there yet, just drawing the air down to the lowest part of your lungs. It can feel like we're breathing right into the belly. This is some diaphragmatic breathing here. And if you'd like, keeping one hand out the belly, bring your other hand up to your chest here. And it's up to you if you just hold still with your hand pressing into your chest, or if you take a little bit of a circling, kind of rubbing motion. I kind of like to press into my chest and not necessarily like rub the skin, but just kind of like move the skin around in a kind of a little circle. Some people call this a heart hug. Can kind of bring you back into the body if you ever catch yourself kind of dissociating or daydreaming too much. And from this place here, just notice if any intentions or dedications are arising in you. Any kind of intention or dedication you might want to set for your practice today. And then let's take 3 clearing breaths to put that intention in motion. Inhaling through your nose, sighing or blowing out of your mouth. 2 more like that. Go ahead. And if you were leaning up against the wall, just kind of coming up off of the wall, standing on your own 2 feet now, maybe coming to your mat if it's close by. You could keep your eyes closed or start to blink them open here. Hands, wherever you'd like them to be, they can remain on your body or come down by your sides. Just start to sway a little bit side to side from foot to foot. You might want to widen your stance a little bit if that feels better. Just a little bit of swaying side to side. And you could consider this a little hip warm up. You could start to kind of target the hips a little bit more with a little bit of a figure 8 like movement, or maybe some circles of the hips, just some intuitive swaying here. So no real prescription for you. We're just kind of swaying from side to side or around in circles. Just gently awakening our body from that restful intro. Maybe your head kind of wants to get into it. Maybe you kind of let your head swoop from one side to the other. Like you're almost like you're dancing to some kind of like soft, flowy music. And it's okay to look a little silly. Who cares? And if your hands are still on your body, go ahead and let them come down by your sides. Let's continue to move a little bit, but now just incorporate your hands and arms, almost like willow tree pose, but making it a little more swoopy, if you will. This is what I'm calling swoopy. So we're just kind of moving around, we're swaying, we're getting some gentle movement in. At some point here, you can turn this into a willow pose just by kind of getting a little twisting sensation going. Your arms hanging loose, dangling just like a willow tree blowing in the wind. All right. And then coming back to the center, slowing down. All right, foot position can change anytime you'd like. We're going to interlace the fingers to your just down at the bottom with the palms facing up first. With an inhale, just start to bend your elbows like you're kind of bringing something up toward your chin here. We're inhaling here. Flip your palms so the palms are face down, and then exhale, push down. We'll keep the palms facing down now with your inhale. Bring the arms straight out in front of you, and then whatever you consider all the way up today. Don't have to go too far up. With your exhale, release your hands around and down by your sides. We'll do this a few times, you'll catch on. At the bottom, interlacing your fingers with your palms facing up. Inhale, bring the hands up toward the chin. Flip the palms down. Exhale, press your hands down. Keeping the hands like so. Inhale, reach the arms straight forward and then up. Exhale, release your arms, release your hands down and around. Interlacing the fingers at the bottom with your inhale, hands reaching up toward the chin. Flip your palms down, exhale, press the hands down. Inhale, arms reach forward and up. Exhale, release your arms down by your sides. Let's do that a few more times. Let's start to feel a little flow with it now. So at the bottom, we're interlacing the fingers and inhaling to lift up. Flip the palms, exhale, lower down. Inhale, hands and arms reaching forward and then up. Exhale, release the arms around and down. One more time, interlacing, inhale, lifting up. Exhale, pressing down. Inhale, arms straighten, forward and up. Exhale, release the arms around and down. Good. Now we're going to get kind of a free form cat and cow like movement going here. So I'm going to turn to the side. You just stay where you're at though. With the, we're just going to start by kind of like rounding forward. And this can kind of feel like cat pose a little bit when we arch the spine, usually from hands and knees. So just kind of round forward. Almost like you're a puppet with no strings attached right now. With your inhale, we're going to find our cow-like pose by expanding through the arms, lifting up through the chest, lifting the gaze, and finding a little back bend. Exhale, rounding forward, arms come back down. Maybe touch your thighs if you'd like. Tuck your chin toward your chest. So we're just going to continue like that, our little free form cat and cow. With your inhales, we're opening the arms wide, just finding some expansion. Exhale, rounding forward, tucking the chin. Let's keep going. A couple more breaths, inhaling to expand. Exhale to round forward. Just do what feels good here. A couple more times, inhaling, finding a little back bend, expanding, maybe looking all the way up. Exhale, rounding forward. Keep going. A couple more. Feel free to find a different path if the arms want to circle in a different way, up and down. Just kind of warming up with that spine movement, similar to cat and cow. Good. All right. Let's have a little shake out at the top whenever you're ready. So just finding some intuitive shaking through your hands maybe first. Maybe you lift and lower your heels a couple of times like you're almost going to jump up off the floor, but the feet stay connected. You can just keep shaking out in any way that feels right. Maybe your head finds a little shake. Maybe those feet, legs find a little shake. Oh, just get it moving anywhere you can, anywhere that you want. Good, good, good. Okay, let's come on up to the top of our mats and find your foot position. That feels good. We'll spin the palms to face the front of your space. Engage through your core. So we're not finding a back bend here. We're nice and straight up. Pick up your toes, spread them out for a moment. Just hold them there for a second. Toes spreading out, fingertips spreading out, hands and feet getting a little bit of a stretch here, and then set your toes down. With your inhale, start to rise up to your tippy toes, lifting your heels, strengthening through those feet, calves, and ankles, and then exhale to lower down. Just do your best here. Some days this is quite a balance challenge. We're inhaling to rise up. Feel those leg muscles, those foot muscles working, and exhale to lower down. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhaling to rise. Exhaling to lower. One last time. Inhale to rise. Stay here if you can for your exhale. One more breath in. Option to reach the hands up. Exhale, lower your hands to heart center. Lower your heels. Take just a moment here with your thumbs pressing into your heart center to remember your intention if you set one today. Then let's take a clearing breath. We're inhaling through the nose. Sigh to release. All right. We're going to find one-legged mountain pose with that right knee lifting. So shift your weight over to the left foot. You could come up to the tippy toe on the right foot here, or flex that right ankle and then lift your right knee to about hip height. With an inhale, reach your hands up and overhead. Exhale, airplane pose rather. We're sweeping the arms back, that leg reaches back, and then just go ahead and step back with the right foot. So it's kind of a brief airplane pose. Bend through your left knee. So we're in a high lunge. Inhale to reach your hands up and overhead. Exhale here. 2 more breaths. Check to make sure that your hips are kind of facing the top edge of your mat. 1 more breath in. Exhale, warrior 2. Spin that right heel down to the floor. Arms reach wide. You might pick up all your toes, spread them out, and set them back down. Gaze just beyond your left middle finger. 1 more breath in and out. Let's have a clearing breath now in through the nose. And sigh to release. With an inhale, let's do our best to get back to our high lunge so the hands reach up. We're pivoting on that back foot. So now we're facing the top of the mat again. Go ahead and lower your hands and lower that back knee down to the floor or blocks. And when you're ready, with an inhale, let's lift those hands back up. Exhale, open arm twist toward the left, toward that bent front knee. Big breath in and out. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath in and breath out. Unwind. Come back to the center. Bring your left hand to your left hip crease and take a little side bend toward the left. So the right hand is reaching up and over. If it feels too wobbly here, toe heel your left foot out wide so you have a wider base to work with. We're feeling a stretch through that right side and maybe the right hip flexor, maybe down even farther. See where you feel it. 1 more breath in and breath out. Bring your hands down to the floor or blocks. Let's step that left knee back to meet your right in our tabletop position. With an inhale, lower your belly, lift your gaze, cow pose. Exhale, cat, rounding your spine, tucking your chin. 2 more like that. Inhale to cow pose, belly lowers, gaze lifts. Exhale to cat. Last time through, inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. All right, let's lower the chest down to the floor, setting up for 3 rounds of baby cobra. Get a little bit of space between the feet, between the legs. Press the tops of your feet down a lot. With your inhale, lift your head and chest, strengthening the spine, the muscles around the spine and core, lifting. And exhale, lower down. 2 more. Inhale, baby cobra, lifting. Exhale, lower. 1 more time. Inhale, rise, baby cobra. Let's stay lifted here for the exhale. 1 last inhale. Exhale, lower. 1 breath in, rest and soften. 1 breath out, softer yet. Inhale, press your way up to tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. We're gonna have 3 breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let's have 1 more breath in. One more breath out. Inhale, rise up, tabletop. Let's grab those blocks underneath our hands if you've got them. We'll find our first downward facing dog. So we'll kind of ease into it here with our blocks in place, pressing your hands into the floor or blocks. Curl those toes under. Start to pick up your knees. Reach your tailbone high. Press into those palms. Reach through your shoulders. Breathe deep here. Option to pedal out your legs, bending and straightening opposite knees a couple times. Just about one more breath in. One more breath out. Inhale, bend both knees, look up toward the top of your mat. Exhale, step that right foot forward first, and then your left. Forward fold at the top. Inhale, halfway lift, looking straight down to the floor. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, reaching the arms around. Join your palms up at the top. Exhale, hands come down to your heart center. Take a few moments to find your center. Soften your shoulders. Let's take a clearing breath, inhaling through your nose. Sigh or blow to release. Inhale, reach both hands high, looking up. Exhale, baby back bend. We're cactus. We're goal posting the arms with a little bend of the elbows. Keep breathing here as you squeeze the glutes and lift the heart and gaze up. With your next inhale, let's reach back up. Join your palms and exhale, hands come down to heart center. You might want to widen your feet a little bit here as we head into our one-legged mountain pose with the left knee lifting. So shifting your weight to your right foot. You could come up to your left tippy toe or left tippy toe up on a block if it's still there, or flex that left ankle and bring the left knee up to about hip height. Take a breath in, reach those hands back up. Exhale, airplane pose. That left foot reaches back. The toe could be dragging along the floor for support. Shoulder blades engaged, reaching behind you. Exhale, step the left toes down to the floor. Bend into that right knee. Inhale, high lunge, just reaching high. Exhale here. One more breath in. Exhale, warrior two, spinning that left heel down to the floor, reaching in both directions through the hands. Breathe and gaze just beyond the right middle finger. Feeling strong. Two more breaths. Inhale and exhale. Last breath in. Breath out. With an inhale, come back to your high lunge, pivoting on that back foot. So now all the toes face that top edge of your mat again. And exhale, lower your hands down to your blocks or to the floor and lower that left knee down to the floor as well. You could toe heel the right foot out a little bit wider for extra support here. With an inhale, reach both hands up. And exhale, open arm twist toward the right. We're going to stay here for 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Active twist. And exhale. Last breath in. And out. With your inhale, come back up to the center. Hands lifting. Breathe like normal as you bring your right hand down to your right hip, and then reach that left hand up and over. So you're finding a nice side bend toward the right. You might feel it all the way up and down through that left side, maybe that left hip flexor. If you want to feel it through your hip flexor a little more, you could sink your hips forward and down slightly. I find that leaning back a little bit helps too. One more breath in and out. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, lower your hands to the floor or blocks. Breathe like normal as you step your right knee back to meet your left. So we're in our tabletop position. Let's do 3 rounds of cat and cow. With your inhale, lowering your belly, lifting your gaze, cow pose. Exhale, cat. We're going just a little quicker now. Inhale, cow, gaze lift. Exhale, cat, round it up. One more time, inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, neutral tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. 3 slow breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath here. Breathing out. Inhale, rise up, tabletop. And then exhale, sink your chest down toward the floor. Let's go through 3 more rounds of our baby cobra. So pressing the tops of your feet down into the mat. With your inhale, baby cobra, we're lifting up. We are strengthening here. Exhale, lower. Go ahead and do 2 more. People have reported that strengthening through the low back can be really helpful actually with low back pain. So sometimes instead of just stretching, we definitely want to be strengthening. And when you're on that last round, just stay lifted for an extra breath. If you're there with me, 1 more breath in. And then breath out to lower down. 1 round of rest. 1 round of breath to rest. With an inhale, press your way up to tabletop. And exhale to downward dog. Inhale when you arrive. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath in. And breath out. Inhale, bend your knees, look up to your hands. Exhale, step the left foot forward first, and then your right. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Reach those palms together overhead. Exhale, hands come down to heart center. Take a few breaths. Notice how you're feeling. And then let's take a clearing breath in through the nose. Sigh or blow through your mouth. Go ahead and blink your eyes open and lower your hands down. We will do a little bit of balancing here. So find your favorite spot for balancing. You can always come back close to a wall or chairs or whatever if you'd like. We're gonna do a tree pose today, and we'll do our playful tree pose because I love options. So let's bring all the weight to the right foot first. Let's kickstand that left heel on the right ankle, opening that left hip, that left knee out toward the left side. Your hands can be anywhere you'd like. Finding an unmoving focal point somewhere across the room from you, your drishti. Focus intently on that spot that you're looking at. Notice your body here first in a very stable position, hopefully. If it's not feeling stable, grabbing some extra support from the wall or a chair. If you feel comfortable then and you'd like to go a little farther, you might reach that left foot up toward your right calf to rest. You might give that left foot a little hoist up to the inner right thigh if you want. And either choosing to stay right where you're at or making it a little more playful, you might reach down to grab that left knee, just kind of opening your left knee out toward the side. Maybe your right hand reaches high. Go ahead and play with it now if you want for about 3 more breaths, just whatever you'd like, maybe letting go of that left knee, seeing if you can keep it raised. Do whatever you want here, balancing on one foot for just about 2 more breaths. You can always come back to your original tree pose too. Just about 1 more breath in. And breath out. Lower everything down. Whew. Shake out that standing leg. That one I could really feel through my right foot today. All right, switching sides. Shift your weight to your left foot. Kickstand that right leg on the left. Right knee and right hip opening up toward the side wall as much as you comfortably can. Finding that unmoving focal point, maybe the same spot, or maybe trying a different spot. Just wait here until you feel like you want to explore farther. If you want, go ahead anytime. Maybe that right foot comes up to your left calf or up to your left inner thigh. And maybe staying right here to play a little bit or reaching down for that right knee. And go ahead, get a little playful, find some new variations if you want to for the last 3 breaths here. Just about 1 more breath, unless that doesn't feel long enough today. You can always stay. Eventually using an exhale to let everything find the floor. Shake that left leg out. Yeah, the feet are feeling it today for me on those balancing poses. All right, and we're gonna come down to a seat and we'll stay in a seat here. I'm gonna adjust my camera. Just finding your way down to a seated position. And then we'll find a deer pose or 90-90 to the right. So our knees are both going to be bent, but they're going to be kind of off to the right side. So the left shin is more or less in front. The right shin is more or less on the right side. If this is really hard and this doesn't feel comfortable, I invite you to make yourself a little platform with your blocks or pillows or blankets that you can come and sit up on. This will make it so that your knees don't have to bend as far and your hips don't have to, or rather your hips are the ones really doing this kind of turning motion. So go ahead, just prop yourself up. Take your time, making sure it feels pretty comfortable. And I know it's called 90-90, but your knees don't have to be exactly 90 degrees. They could be a little bit less or a little bit more of an angle. We're gonna sit up nice and tall. If your hands touch the floor, cool. If you're up high on your blocks, maybe you just bring your hands onto your thigh and just sitting nice and tall here. And option 1 will be just to stay right here. This could feel like enough of a stretch already going on, so just be mindful there. If you want to get a little movement going with me, we're gonna do a couple twists toward the left. So that right hand could come to the left knee, not necessarily to like give you more leverage for turning, but just as like a restful place. That left hand could either come to your back or the floor if you can reach. Sitting up nice and tall here, inhale. With your exhale, just taking a little active twist toward the left. Inhale, unwind just enough for your full breath in. Exhale, twisting to the left. 1 more time. Inhale, unwind a little bit. Exhale, twist to the left. Now I invite you to stay twisted, stay in that kind of end range, and let go of your hands. So we're really finding our fully active range of motion here. We're not helping ourselves go farther. It's our muscles keeping us in this twist. One more breath in. And then breath out, unwind. All right, let's take a little forward fold over that left knee. So you can stay up on your blocks here, of course. Walk your hands out in front of that left shin. Try to puff your chest up so we keep a nice straight and tall spine, and kind of lead with your heart first. Like you're trying to get your chest closer to your knee more than your head. Your head doesn't really matter how close it gets to the floor. Just go ahead and fold over until it feels like enough. Adjust anytime you need or grab other blocks. Maybe your hands or your forearms could come down to blocks or the floor. We're kind of going right over that left knee here. And then find a place to stay for 5 breaths. Nice and slow. Make sure you're not in agony or pain or anything like that. You don't have to go too far. Just that sweet spot. You're feeling a little action there in that left hip, that left glute, but you're not hurting yourself. Just about 3 more breaths, even slower. Sometimes I like to bring a block under my head to rest, or a stack of blocks, so just get cozy. 2 more slow breaths. One last breath. If you're sitting up on blocks, maybe coming down as you unwind your legs and set up for the other side. You might notice that one side is a little easier than the other. You might notice that this side is the harder side. So again, building that nice little platform for you to sit up on with your blocks or your stacks of pillows or blankets. And don't be afraid to really stack it up there until it feels comfortable. I know this is quite an open hip position for many people. So coming up onto your blocks, if that is the case. Even if it's not the case, it just kind of is a nicer version up there. So give it a try if you want. And then we're going to find our twists to the right. So the left hand coming to that right knee, right hand to your low back or to the floor if you can reach that. Inhale, sitting tall. Exhale, twist toward the right, looking over that right shoulder slightly. Inhale, unwind, allowing for a full breath in. Exhale, twist to the right. Last time, inhale, unwind. Exhale, twist to the right. Stay in your twist here, let go of what you're holding on to, your knee and your back, and just see how far that active twist can take you. Remember, our active twist is how far we can go without pushing farther. The passive range is when we get that extra torque from holding on. So we're finding active range. One more breath in. And then breath out, unwind. Nice. Okay, your choice, staying up on those blocks or getting a little higher if you want for our forward fold over that right knee. Personally, I need to come down off of the blocks, but that is me. And then walking your hands, we're kind of centering over that right knee here. So just walking your hands to either side of the right knee, puffing that chest up, keeping a nice tall spine, reaching with your heart, like heart toward your knee. Your head can stay lifted at first. This will get you a little bit deeper into that right glute, kind of the right hamstring a little bit more. Maybe your forearms could come down to blocks or the floor. Keep lowering until you feel what feels like a sweet spot. Sweet spot does not mean you're in agony. Remember that. You don't have to feel pain to have gains. Make sure you can take a breath. That's a good sign. We're gonna have 3 more nice slow breaths. Even slower for these last 2. One more. Stay longer if you'd like, and when you're ready, pressing your way back up. And then unjumbling the legs. Just straighten your legs out, maybe giving them a little shake or a little tap around those hips or glutes or thighs. And go ahead and lower your way onto your back. Your choice if you make it a little core challenge by going slow or just get down to the floor there and go a little quicker. Your choice. At the bottom, we're reaching long for a long body stretch. So reaching your hands and legs in opposite directions, reaching and stretching, reaching and stretching. And then go ahead and bend your knees. Stand your feet up on the floor here for a moment, and then grab hold of your knees, hug your knees in toward your chest a little bit, and find some free movement, rocking, massaging pressure over your low back, over the sacrum. Letting your knees go a little farther away from you or a little closer to fine tune where that pressure is pressing. Just feels heavenly after all of our standing today in this class. So just savor, just enjoy a little bit of movement there. And then we'll take a little twist to end things off here. So we'll do a little bit of an active twist. So letting go of your knees, your feet still up in the air here. Let's bring the hands and arms out to the sides. We're inhaling at the center, just like so. Exhaling to dip and twist your knees toward the right. Option to gaze slightly to the left as you twist. Inhale, come back up to the center. Exhale, knees go to the left, gaze toward the right. Inhale to the center. You get the idea. We're exhaling to twist. One last time. Inhale to the center. Last twist with the exhale. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, set those feet down. Go ahead and let your knees windshield wiper sway from side to side. And if there are any last movements, poses, or stretches that your body is asking you for, go ahead, find those movements or poses now. And as soon as you're ready for some rest, go ahead and find a restful position, maybe Shavasana, corpse pose with your arms and legs outstretched. Maybe constructive rest pose with your knees bent and your feet standing at the edges of your mat, kind of tucking your tailbone under so your low back is a little flatter to the floor. And then let your knees rest together at the center. Any arm positions, any leg positions. You are in total control now. Finding a restful pose. And settling on in. Maybe taking a clearing breath or two. Softening the muscles of your face and around your eyes. Soften your jaw. Feel the back of your body connecting to the floor or mat or props. And giving full permission to the shoulders and arms to soften and relax now. Full permission to rest all up and down the spine from the base of the skull all the way down the neck, down between the shoulders, the upper back, the mid back, the low back, the sacrum, the tailbone, all restful. All of the bones in the upper body resting. Just kind of a sleepy heaviness. The hip points, the upper legs, the femurs, both knees. Permission to rest through the lower legs, the ankles, your right foot, and your left foot. Both feet resting now. And letting your breath become like an ocean, watching as the waves roll in with the inhales. Watching as those waves roll out with your exhales. Maybe it's a visual of the ocean waves that you connect with today. Maybe it's the sound of your breath or the rise and fall of your chest. It could be the sensation of air at the tip of your nose or through your nostrils. Just finding some marker for yourself, some kind of physical sensation to focus on as your breath continues at its very own pace. Let go now of any need to control the breath. Just watching or feeling or noticing as the waves roll in. Your waves roll out. And just letting yourself rest. When thoughts come in, like they surely will at some point, just reminding yourself thinking can be for later. Let's just rest. Let's just breathe for now. Softening even more. Even more. Just breathing. Couple more moments here. And instead of trying to escape the body, let's really be embodied. So you're feeling those physical sensations of the rise and fall of your breath through your chest or through your nose or wherever you feel it. Present in your physical body. Your inhales drawing in fresh oxygen to nourish your body, your muscles, your blood. Your exhales to keep life going in you. And you are welcome to stay here, breathing and being as long as you would like. Eventually, you'll probably want to move on, and whenever that time comes, just gently reawakening the physical body with movement, just intuitive movement. Which parts of you feel like moving first today? How do you move when you're being kind and gentle? Can you increase that movement just a little bit to include more of your body, or maybe reaching for a long body stretch, or opening and closing your jaw, swallowing or yawning? And at some point soon, turning over onto either side, finding the fetal position. Maybe your bottom arm is your pillow now. Take one more breath in and out. And then, with the help of your hands, pressing your way up to a comfortable seat. We'll join hands in front of the heart. And we'll close with a little chant. So we'll kind of chant our normal closing Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. You can join me if you'd like today. I'm kind of gonna like sing chant it. Go ahead and make some sound along with me, or hum, or just listen. Your choice now. Inhaling through your nose. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And then bringing your thumbs up to third eye center. And a little gesture of gratitude if it feels right to you. Let's take a little bow forward together now. Peace. Thanks, everyone.